Hi, everyone. Welcome to Movies with My Mother. I am Lexi.
And I'm Mom Lori.
And today we finished up our holiday double back with White Christmas.
Ah,
This movie is from 1954. It is a very long 2 hours. The rating is approved.
okay.
And it was directed by Michael Curtiz.
Yes.
He got a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Oh,
56 on Metascore,
oh,
and a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
interesting.
Yeah. I show a budget of about $2 million
I saw that.
and a worldwide gross of about $30 million because this has been re-released several times.
Yes.
So that's kind of like an estimated 1954 to current total.
Right.
But that's not too shabby.
No, not at all. And especially, this is one of those movies where the studio, Bing Crosby, and Danny Kaye all got in on the end.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good for them.
30, 30, and 10%. So, 30, 30, and 10. Where's the other one? Anyway, but yeah, they got money on the backside.
Yeah, there's another 30% there. Did the girls get 15 each?
For the no, I didn't read that. For the movie, though.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because when did people start doing that? That's something to look up.
It is because this is the first time that I read that in my studies. Well, this far back of a movie.
Yeah.
I have seen that in my studies, but those are more of the what I would say current movies.
Yeah, in the last 40 years.
Right. 54 was even before I was born.
Yeah.
So, I think that that's a long way back.
It is. 72 years.
Yikes.
The plot is that a successful song and dance team become romantically involved with a sister act and team up to save the failing Vermont Inn of their army friend.
Yeah, that is exactly what the story is.
Yeah.
Yep. And they do it with style.
And they team up with the sister act because of another army friend.
Kinda.
Kinda. The cast is Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, Rosemary Clooney, Vera Ellen, Dean Jagger, Mary Wicks, John Brassia, and Anne Whitfield.
Yep.
What are you looking up?
Nothing. It was aggravating me. I could see it over here. My phone, I always have my phone open to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, somehow it went to a video and it was jumping around, and I don't like to see that out of the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
So I put it back to the cast so it would stop jumping around. You know me, Lexi. I mean, that little bit of thing will draw my attention away.
I understand.
Yikes. But yes, that is the entire theme of the movie, the story, and they did it well.
Yeah. It was a raging success.
Yes. And a lot of that is credited to the director, Michael Curtiz, because he was that kind of director that really dug into the story and made the story come out of the movie.
Right.
So, or at least that's what I have read.
Sure.
Doesn't sound like many people liked him. Lots of actors said they'd never work with him again, but who cares? He was on a roll. We'll talk about that. Lots of movies.
Really?
Yes, lots of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. Well, Michael Curtiz is a Hungarian that came to America and made his fortune.
Okay.
He directed classic silent films and a lot from the golden age of films.
Okay.
In 1926, he came to Hollywood, already a well-known director in Europe. He'd already made 64 films.
Yeah.
In 1926, he had already made that many. And he helped Warner Brothers become the fastest growing studio. Overall, he directed at Warner Brothers 102 films.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, what director says they have like 170 movies under their belt?
Well, in a time where there wasn't, such a slow turnaround where you could make a movie in 3 or 4 weeks and,
Right.
be in the box office
Right.
in 5 or 6 weeks.
Right.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. During his career, he was making at Warner Brothers, he was making 4 movies a year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we've talked about what it is, how much is involved in making a movie.
Yeah.
The time and effort that goes into making the film itself is no time. Sometimes weeks, but it's all the run up to it and all of the production after.
Post-production,
Yeah, that is unbelievable. But back then, they made a movie and they showed a movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't all the stuff that we have. He directed 10 actors to Oscar nominations.
Wow.
Today, he would be known as a star maker, and he was.
Sure.
A lot of his films were first movies for a lot of really big names. He was nominated 5 times himself for Best Director, and he won for a little obscure movie that nobody's ever heard of, Casablanca. I was shocked when I read that. I thought, oh my gosh, I've known about that movie all of my life, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but
I think I've seen,
bits and pieces. Yeah, me too. But I don't think I've ever seen the movie from beginning to end. But yeah, he did Casablanca. And I thought, wow. Everybody knows that movie. He was one of the early directors that adopted the visual style, not just the close up camera actor in your face thing.
Okay.
The visual style and moving cameras and high crane shots, the artistic lighting, all those new ideas that came during the early days of making movies. He was doing all kinds of genres. He wasn't just doing, so often when we watch our horror movies, that director just does horror movies.
Yeah.
But this guy did everything. He did all kinds of movies. And he was comfortable doing that because he thought more of the plot and the people in the story than he did just making the story.
Okay.
In 1936, he made a movie called Charge of the Light Brigades, starring Errol Flynn.
Oh, okay.
There's a name that huge, but there was an accident and 25 horses were killed.
Oh my God.
And that led Congress and the ASPCA to enact policies and legislations to protect animals on the sets.
What year did you say?
1936.
Wow.
We hear about stuff like that today. How?
Yeah, that's always, if there's an animal in the movie, there's always a disclaimer at the end of the movie that, people were present and the animals weren't harmed.
Right. And it's for that reason that, and he kind of like, what do you mean? They're animals. A big deal, no big deal.
Mm,
He kind of, what I read, it sounded like he kind of blew it off and
it's the wrong side of the issue.
right. Well, how do you know? But he grew up in Hungary in a time when it was poor. He was poor. I'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll get to it right now.
where animals were food, not your friend.
Right, right. Curtis was born in Budapest in 1886. And again, here's another actor, director that there's all kinds of dates that, what he claimed it was one and somebody else claimed it was another. But in investigation, he was born in December of 1886.
Okay.
His father was a carpenter and his mother was an opera singer.
Wow.
But, and when I hear that, I think, geez, why would they be considered poor? I mean, if his mother was a singer, I mean, surely that would have been something. But in his own biography, he said that his family was poor.
Well, you have to think at that time, like a diva wasn't a thing.
Correct.
And if it was, they still were making half of what the men were making.
Probably correct also.
So
And even
that makes sense.
Yeah, and his father was a carpenter. He had a skilled trade, obviously. But what was a carpenter back then? Just a guy that built houses?
Well, yeah. And,
Furniture or something like that?
how much money are you going to make if the people around you are too poor to pay you for your work?
Correct.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
He said his family, 4 kids and 2 parents, lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment.
Ooh.
All the kids lived in one room and the parents lived in the other. And,
That's too many.
grandma lives in the living room. So,
Jesus.
Houses weren't like they are now. Families didn't need 30 or 40,000 square feet, whatever.
Oh, I'd kill for that.
You just fill it up with movies.
Listen, that's neither here nor there.
I know that goes with me wanting more money. I'd just redecorate and expand. What can I say? After high school, he went to university and then on to the Royal Academy of Theatre and Arts in Budapest.
Cool.
When he was a child, in the basement of his house, he organized a little theater where he had shows.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, how many kids have shows in their backyard,
Oh, we did shows all the time at Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Yep. So he had started out that way. And then in the time after college, when he was probably around 19, he did acting in a traveling theater group. And when that kind of ran out, he worked for the circus. He did circus work.
Everybody's in the circus.
Well, I think that, in the early 1900s, that was entertainment.
A viable job.
Yeah. That was the entertainment industry.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Then after that ran out, or he got, tired of that, he got into a theater company that did Shakespeare and Ibsen. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And they traveled around Europe. And during that time, listen to how smart this guy is. During the time that he was traveling with this theater group, he learned 5 languages.
Oh, good for him.
And I thought, holy cow, that is crazy. But I guess, when you're living your everyday life, it's easier to learn a language, because you get the basics right there.
Yeah.
In 1912, he was working at the National Hungarian Theater. At this time, he was also on the Hungarian fencing team. that went to the Stockholm Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine? I think that's crazy. When I read that, I thought, oh, how odd. See, stuff like this, we always do this at the right time because the Olympics
Yeah.
started yesterday.
The Winter Olympics in Milan.
Yeah, they started yesterday. He is credited with directing Hungary's very first feature film, which is amazing. I mean,
That's awesome.
yeah. It was the 1912 movie Today and Tomorrow. I've never heard of it.
No.
So much of the stuff that he has made is lost.
Oh, that sucks.
It was on cellulose film, and it's it was not preserved, and which they didn't expect it. Do you think that they expected in some of these little shorts that were made in the silent film era that anyone would ever want to see those again? I think it's amazing. So from 1913, he lived around Europe working on silent films. When World War I started in 1914, he had to return to Hungary because he was I forget the word. He didn't enlist. He was
conscripted?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
That was the word that was in yes. He was
They enlisted him for him.
Right. They decided for him that he wanted to be in the army. And so he was only in the army for a year because he was wounded. He went right to the Russian front and was wounded.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. After he recovered, they sent him to make fundraising movies for the Red Cross. So he was really only in the army for a year. So 1917, he became the director of productions at Phoenix Studios in Budapest. And we've talked about Phoenix Studios. Other movies have been made there that we have talked about. I guess that was state of the art place in the 19 teens. And like I said, sadly, most of his films were a total loss and nothing survived intact. By 1918, he had directed about 45 films and had become Hungary's most important director. He made, movies that people wanted to see.
That's crazy.
In 1919, the communist dictatorship changed all the rules.
Yeah, it always does.
He tried. He was a good citizen, and he wanted to do the best he could for, his family, his country. But, the guidelines that the communists wanted, he decided that he couldn't do it, and he had to go west. Briefly, he worked in Germany. And that is where he learned to work with large groups of extras. It talked about how, I think about then is when the big epic things started to happen. Lots of people dancing and lots of people in the restaurants and stuff like that. And he learned how to work with these large groups of extras and working in complicated plots.
Sure.
He worked and studied with Count Alexander Kabaronat. I'm not really sure. I don't recognize that name or anything that was involved with what I read, but this guy was like the top movie maker in Germany at the time.
Okay.
He made at least 21 films during this time, which was only, 5-6 years. In 1990, and 1990, no, in 1926, Harry Warner had heard about him, and he decided that he was going to go to Europe and meet with this guy and see how he worked. And it was after that visit that the Warners decided to offer a contract at their new studio in Hollywood. He Curtis arrived in the United States around 1926, and then he stayed at Warner Brothers for 28 years,
Oh my God.
doing 86 of those 102 films. He did 86 of the films at Warner Brothers Studios. He directed his first epic in 1928, even though um, even though by then he was already 38 years old, and really a seasoned, experienced director.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers assigned him to lots of little stuff, average films, so that he could break in and learn how to do it their way, stuff like that. They're again studios imposing their thinking on directors.
Mm-hmm.
When he got his first film, when he came to America, he could not speak English.
But you spoke 5 languages.
One of them was not English.
Really? There's English-speaking people in Europe?
Yes, but apparently he didn't go to England. He went to France and Germany and all of those little countries, above that. Norway, there's a lot of stuff in Norway. They didn't speak English.
No, it's true.
So,
it's really only a post-World War II thing, isn't it?
I think so. And we Americans think everybody can speak English. We can't even speak English.
We're so stupid.
For crying out loud.
We have to give, oh my God, can you believe they speak 2 languages? And it's just like, we're so stupid.
Yes, we are. Let's see. Made me lose my place.
Sorry, talking about ugly Americans.
Not speaking English. Oh, and he there were lots of things that he had no idea about. Like one of his very first movies was a movie about Chicago and gangsters and jail life and and the crime scene. He didn't have any clue about that.
All that stuff is a whole different monster in Europe.
Absolutely. That's what I thought. When I was reading that, I was just laughing. I'm thinking, right? Absolutely right.
I watched a documentary about Russian prisons and the tattoo culture and how the prison guards are just there to just basically make everybody miserable. And the dehumanizing way they have to move these people around, and it's wild.
Yep.
Every tattoo has 15 different meanings. It's crazy.
Oh my God. So, and because he was, the kind of director that wanted to know how to do the best possible movie he could, he convinced a sheriff in LA to let him go and stay in a jail for a week so that he could learn what he needed to learn to make a gangster movie.
Okay.
And throughout his career, he would find people who could teach him about what he wanted to learn to know about so that he could make his movies the best he possibly could.
That's awesome though. Because who would take the time? Michael Bay would never.
Right. And, and to think this guy is busy. I mean, Warner Brothers has his nose to the grindstone making movie. And he's making time to learn these things.
That's wild.
And he gave every script that he had the amount of time it needed so that it could become the successful movie that he wanted to make. And I think there's nothing wrong with that idea.
Really, why he was a successful director.
Right, right. And for all his movies, he did all of this studying. He wanted to know the history, the culture, the habits, everything that went into making the feelings of the movie, and what was needed to make the best movie he could possibly make. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, and I know directors today want to do the best movie they possibly can, but this dude lived it.
That's crazy.
He absolutely lived it.
Yes.
And while Warner Brothers was, quote unquote, training him and building their confidence that he was learning, he was taking his own time and getting to know technicians, the cameramen, all the people that you need to, the good people you need to make a good movie.
Yeah.
And he would continue using those people in all of his movies. So again, there's nothing wrong with getting a group of people together to make the best possible movie you can.
Yeah.
I think that's genius.
Creating your stable.
Yeah.
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 Well, I think there's something to be said for like knowing that, oh, I'm going to work with this guy. I'm going to make some money.
Yeah.
Because this movie's going to be great.
Right. Right.
So, there's a lot to be said for that, because how many people just in their everyday job, that they like their bosses. I like my boss, so I'm going to work hard because I like my boss. And I know that my boss is sticking their neck out for me.
Right. He
How many people can
appreciates
say
me.
that?
Absolutely. Not too many.
Exactly.
Not too many at all. So starting around 1930, he was doing, like I said, he was doing 4 films a year.
Yeah.
Then in 1932 and 1933, he did 2 very rare movies for Warner Brothers, horror movies. A movie called Dr. X and one called Mysteries of the Wax Museum.
I might actually own that.
Really?
I might actually own that.
Which I vaguely familiar, but not really familiar. So, I can't talk about those. I don't know what they are. But these were both movies made in early Technicolor. Can you imagine?
No. Well,
That's 32 and 33.
when did Wizard of Oz come out? That was in Technicolor.
They were experimenting with that new thing called Technicolor. So, yeah.
I don't know what Dr. X is about, but I think that the Mysteries of the Wax Museum is that there was something weird about the figures, and it turns out they're dead bodies. Just covered in
just
paraffin.
dripping in wax. Okay. And because Warner Brothers was a, brand new struggling studio at the time, it's not really until the mid 30s that Curtis really took off. In 1935, he did a swashbuckler movie.
Okay.
Let's see. Again, I lost my place. Oh, it was called Captain Blood, and it was a huge success. This is really when Curtis became known as a leading director here in the United States. And he continued to do big movies like this throughout the end of the 30s and 40s. And in 1941 is when Casablanca came out. I knew that was around that time. I can't even imagine. That was all the way through the Depression that happened. That people were watching movies for escape. I think, Casablanca received 8 Academy Award nominations with 3 wins in it.
Yeah.
And one of them was for Curtis for the direction.
Nice. Do you know what the other 2 were?
I don't.
Oh. because that had Ingrid Bergman and Humphrey Bogarts
Yep.
and
Yeah. And the visual of that movie, I remember, is supposed to be stunning.
what's that guy's name? I think Peter Lorre was in it.
Yes, Peter Lorre. And some say, some meaning people, critics and people that write these stuff in the internet that I can see, that this was the best movie ever made.
Well, people still talk about
Yes.
how great Casablanca is.
Yes.
So, that movie's almost 100 years old at this point.
Right.
So it does have to be great.
Absolutely. And the things that I remember of it, it's always misty and kind of dreary and dank. And, like I said, I don't think I've ever seen that movie, but the bits and pieces that I do remember, are dark. They're dark. But people say it's the best movie ever made. So
Yeah.
go on. And he continued through World War II making movies. And of course, during that time, they were more like propaganda type things.
Sure.
They did war, quote unquote war movie type things. And then back into the 50s, he did more of the, all sorts of genres. He sounds like he took whatever movie he wanted.
Sure.
Lots of success came for him during this time, considering our movie, 1954. But because the collabs with the Warner Brothers was starting to break down, and our movie today was his first movie with Paramount. But then after that, he just kind of worked freelance after that. He wasn't really associated any longer with a studio.
I also think that getting towards the 50s, like studio specific contracts weren't really the normal thing anymore. I think they, moved away from, just being studio bound. And
I have to agree with you.
because,
because
how many 8-picture deals am I going to have to sign before you think I'm not a trainee anymore?
Right. And these big stars, Errol Flynn, Olivia de Havilland, all these people, they were contracted to work with a studio.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting paid weekly to do whatever movie the studio told you to do.
Right.
And I think, people started to realize that I don't have to do that anymore.
Right. And I'm kind of sick of looking at her face.
Yeah. So, I have to agree with you. I think that was a time when people were starting to grow. They were starting to grow.
Little autonomy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. His very last film was released just 6 months before he passed away from cancer in 1962. It was a John Wayne Western movie, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to remember the name of this," but I can't.
Oh, okay.
But in the making of that movie, he was very ill.
Oh, was it the one where everybody got cancer on?
Oh, I don't know.
There was a movie that John Wayne did where he played Genghis Khan, and
no, it was a Western.
Oh, okay. And Agnes Moorehead and Dora from Bewitched.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She was on it. Like everybody on that cast got cancer.
My goodness.
Because of how the set was designed and the costuming and the makeuping and everything was filled with asbestos.
Like we were just talking about the beautiful snow in our movie.
Right.
When they opened the thing and the snow was falling.
It was filmed near the nuclear testing sites in
the
New
desert?
Mexico.
Oh my God! Are you?
That's why everybody got cancer.
Most people didn't stand a chance.
So, but like
Yikes.
everybody on that movie, you know,
Oh, man.
the set carpenters, the guy that winds the film up,
My God.
everybody got cancer.
Interesting. But he was really very sick during the filming of this movie.
Oh, it's too bad.
And when he wasn't able to come and do his work, John Wayne filled in.
Oh,
John Wayne,
cool.
the actor, filled in for him as the director and never took any credit for directing of the movie. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always thought John Wayne was, one of the good guys, but I guess he really was.
Well, I need to know what movie this is.
Oh, golly.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
1962 John Wayne movie.
I'm just gonna look up this guy.
All right. Our director, Mr. Curtis, had 2 wives while he was living here in the United States.
Sure.
One of his wives was one of the leading people to start up the Academy Awards and to get those really rolling the way they were.
Going back to what we watched last week, Dracula, Bela Lugosi was one of the founding members of SAG.
No way.
Yeah, I read that after the fact, and I was like, well, that would have been interesting to talk about. Yeah, he was member number 28, and he was one of the people that were like, we need to unionize.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh, that is interesting.
The John Wayne movie is called The Comancheros, and I have never heard of that.
Me either, because I'm not a big John Wayne fan. I probably couldn't name one movie John Wayne was in.
The Texas Ranger captures a fugitive and returns him to Louisiana to face sentence. And soon they are forced to work together in an effort to defeat a fierce band of outlaws dealing with the Comanches known as the Comancheros.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds
like a movie.
Like a John Wayne movie.
Yeah. But when he left Hungary, he left behind it said in the thing illegitimate. It left behind an illegitimate son and daughter when he left Hungary for the United States. And there was I read nowhere that there was any mention that he had children with either of his wives
here in the
States. So I found this guy fascinating, and like I said, I read a lot of stuff where the actor said, I'll never work with that guy again. But you know what? There is nothing wrong with having a strong leader. And, I think there's a lot of that says a lot about your abilities when people say, I'm never working with that guy again. He did this and he did, you know what? He did a good job. So, part of me says, you go, guy. And part of me says, ooh, I hate people like that. But he made some great movies and we're still watching them today. And that's okay. Okay, let's see what I found out about production. Okay, we kind of talked about it a little while we were watching the movie. This was supposed to be a Crosby Astaire vehicle.
Yes. And I've got there was something, it was a long goddamn paragraph, so I didn't write it down, but I'm trying to find it. So go on, keep going.
But
I'll let you know.
But Fred Astaire, after getting the script, said, I don't like it. I'm not doing this. And he dipped out. So that left them, scrambling to try to find a dancer of Fred Astaire's caliber, which at that time was, I wouldn't think very hard. I mean, there were I can think of a lot of dancers. So, but then, Bing Crosby's first wife died, and he was left with grieving the loss of his wife. And I don't know, by then he probably had half a dozen children.
Oh, probably.
I would think, I know he has a whole mess of children. So he said he had to leave the film to take care of his family.
Which is wild because you hear stories about Bing Crosby just being an abominable human being.
Right. But he did come back to the movie.
Oh, okay.
So he did come back, and just before filming, they got Donald O'Connor to do the part of Fred Astaire. Like I said, there's another good dancer. So he got signed on, but then he became ill.
Did you see what he had?
I did not.
He got Q fever from a donkey on a movie he was working on, where the donkey was like his main co-star.
Oh my God.
I was like, what's Q fever? Is that like malaria?
I did read that, and I just brushed it off because I don't know what
I
Q
know. I was
fever.
like, what the fuck is that?
Well, there's a
And how do you get it from a donkey? What were you doing with that donkey?
There's a whole lot of zoonotic diseases that go between humans and animals. I mean, our very famous COVID, was passed on to our house cats and the zoo cats.
Yeah.
So I mean, Q fever.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh, okay. So when he stepped out, Danny Kaye stepped up and he said, okay, I'll come on short notice and do this movie for you, but I want $200,000 and 10% of the gross. And I thought, oh, smart businessman.
Yeah.
So, they said, yeah, okay. Yeah, so he jumped on and he got on 10% of the back end, which I think more actors should have done that.
Oh, okay. So I just had to look up Q fever because now that we're
Yes,
talking about it, I need
course.
to know. Q fever is an infectious disease caused by the bacterium Xylella burnetii, primarily transmitted to humans through inhalation of contaminated dust or aerosols from infected livestock. And listen to this.
Oh,
Transmission. Humans become infected by inhaling dust contaminated with birth products, urine, feces, or milk of infected animals. Direct contact with infected material or consuming raw milk can also cause infection. It's
interesting.
acute symptoms include high fever, severe headache, fatigue, muscle pain, and pneumonia. Chronic serious infection, also known as endocarditis, can occur, and most cases are treated with antibiotics like doxycycline.
Wow, okay. Well, I mean, how many people have petted a donkey and a big cloud of dust blew up from where you petted him?
How many animals do you touch just in general? Your house pets included.
Exactly. And I don't know so much about donkeys, but I know that other small animals urinate on themselves to keep bugs and such away from them. I mean, they don't think it's gross. It's just what they do. So I mean, there's urine on your animal.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Oh, how horrible.
Birth products.
Well, animals are giving birth all the time and they're eating that stuff and rolling in it,
Yeah.
Animals being animals.
Yeah. I guess that ties into today where people are getting raw milk and are wondering why they're getting
Right.
sick and their babies are
Right.
dying from this raw milk, and it's just like
Right. They're going to pet stores to buy the raw milk and then they're taking them home and heating it up a little to kill the bacteria. Really? You're taking your milk home and pasteurizing it before you drink it? What a good idea. Why don't you just buy it pasteurized? I don't understand people.
you know what? I'm fine with the raw milk epidemic. Go ahead and drink it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. I have had raw milk
Ugh.
because I've been to my mom's people had a farm in Pennsylvania. And on a couple of occasions, we as a family went to the farm and they drank the milk that they had from their animal. But back then, it wasn't like their cow was in a pasture. Their cow was clean. It wasn't dirty like these factory farms now,
Yeah.
where everybody's walking in everybody's poop and stuff. I mean, it wasn't. But well, I don't drink milk, period. But that stuff was even worse. We talked about buttermilk in this movie.
Oh,
They
they're talking about drinking buttermilk and
drinking buttermilk and having a sandwich.
you
And
can chew that shit.
oh God, and like I told little Alexis, if you got to put salt and pepper in your glass of milk,
Ugh.
you don't need to be drinking that.
Just awful.
Yeah. So I don't drink milk anyway.
Oh,
And the thought of drinking unpasteurized milk is even worse than drinking the milk.
if I can see,
Stuff floating in the milk.
like, what?
Yeah.
Got me fucked up.
Yeah. If I have to shake my milk up before I drink it, no, thank you.
No.
Nope. No, thank you.
No. I am a modern person with modern conveniences.
Right. Right. Yikes. Okay. And because there was so little time from Danny Kaye signing on to this movie and the movie starting to play
Production.
production, he was replaced in quite a number of dance scenes with Vera Ellen.
Yeah.
Vera Ellen?
Vera Ellen.
By a dancer called John Brisecca.
Brazil?
Brescia?
I think
Okay.
something, I don't know. Something in that realm.
And this guy danced with any big name dancer you can name. You probably can't name anybody because you don't watch stuff like that. Sid Charisse, he danced with Sid Charisse and Tybee Alta. I mean, he danced with all of the big dancers.
Okay.
Paramount re-released our film in 1960 with all new advertising. You had talked about Spectravision? No,
Oh, VistaVision.
VistaVision.
Yeah.
At that time, it had already gone out of style, and so to rebrand the whole movie, they did all kind of new advertising, which I believe it was still the same movie, but I think that type of technique was the norm by then.
Yeah.
So, so that, and it came out in 60 and it was bigger than 1954's version, but whatever the difference was.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, in January of 2026, which was,
5 seconds ago.
right, considering January went for about 6 months this year.
January 57th.
Yeah, at least.
January 58th. It's already February 37th right now. Like, how is that even possible? February started yesterday.
I know. We were talking about that too. I mean, my God, January just dragged and dragged and dragged, and now February is almost done.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
But anyway, our movie White Christmas was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry.
Wrote that down too.
I thought we have watched a lot of movies that have received that honor. So I think we're doing something okay if we're watching movies like that.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool.
I do. I think it is cool. And they don't make movies like that anymore. They don't make musicals where there's, 40 people dancing in one scene and stuff like that.
They really don't. Well, I think they still do on like Broadway, but they're not
Sure.
making big motion pictures of Hamilton.
Right.
Even though they do show stuff like that in the theaters now.
Right.
I've never gone and seen it. But I do love a musical.
My gosh, yes. I love singing it and dancing with my feet, in my chair. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you put on Cabaret right now,
Yep.
and I'm getting up and I'm singing in German. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but I'm singing.
Why do we know those German words, but we don't know what they mean?
It took 3 years of German in high school. I can introduce
Yeah.
myself.
That's good, yeah.
I took a year of French too. I can introduce myself in French too. I can ask, "Can you speak English?"
Right. Okay, bye. So that kind of brings us to our lovely theme meal.
Oh yeah.
We had this movie, we had a lot to choose from. We absolutely could have spent the whole time drinking. There was a lot of drinking in this movie. And there was a lot of eating.
Yeah.
So we went from the scene where she couldn't sleep and she went and they talked about sandwiches.
Yeah, but we were not going to have liverwurst. And also
So I will eat liverwurst. I have and I would, but you wouldn't.
I'd rather eat my hand.
And you don't want that smell in your house.
Um Justin's mom makes these Braunschweiger balls at
God, I
Christmas
love
time.
Braunschweiger too.
Oh, I hate the smell of it.
I know. That's why I would not bring that to your house.
Oh, Justin loves it. So we always have it in our fridge at Christmas time. And
Oh,
I remember Grandpa eating Braunschweiger sandwiches, and it's just bleh.
yep. Every once in a while, I'll go and I'll buy a hunk of Braunschweiger and have butter on one side of the bread and mustard on the other and the Braunschweiger in the middle. Delicious.
Just don't think that meat should be spreadable.
That Braunschweiger is a taste of my childhood. Loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I always say that, are we having peasant food? Because that's what my family is, a family of peasant people, and we eat close to the ground, and you eat every part of the animal. You don't, oh, I only like the ribs. Oh, I only like the steaks. No, you eat every part of the, I've had brain.
Oh.
I've had tongue. I like tongue. Tongue's good too. You can't eat stuff like that anymore with the mad cow, but you ate every part of the animal, and I love me a nice Braunschweiger sandwich or a liverwurst. Liverwurst sandwiches, you eat the same way as little butter on one side of the bread and mustard on the other. Delicious.
Justin would probably love it. I could not. I just
the smell. I mean, I know that's a lot of it,
bologna. Bologna is kind of where I draw my line. And there's really only, like 1 or 2 times a year that I'm like, a bologna sandwich would be bomb right now.
Okay, yeah. I do that too. I'll buy a couple of pieces of bologna and mostly thick cut so I can fry it.
Oh, make you a Saskatchewan steak?
Okay. Not that thick, but yeah.
That's what a fried bologna is called.
Really?
And, yeah.
I did not know that.
Saskatchewan steak.
My God, I've been eating fried bologna all my life, and that I've had steak all my life. What can I say?
Yep.
But there was a lot to choose from, and we went with the sandwiches. And,
but Mom's off bread right now. Mom has decided to be on a keto type diet, but also since she has cut out bread, she has decided that life is better.
It is. I mean, I've heard about this
the
celiac stuff. I don't think I'm celiac, but since I've not eaten bread, my stomach feels better. I don't get upset stomachs anymore, hardly at all. life is better without bread.
That sucks.
But every once in a while, my God, I gotta have some bread. And I've been buying the low carb stuff, and it's okay. But it's not like a piece of Wonder Bread.
Right.
You know.
It costs about 3 times a bag of Wonder Bread, though.
Well, yes. It's not unusual to pay $6 for a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Um,
And I really think that stuff makes better toast than it does bread.
oh yeah, because there's nothing real in it. But, yeah, I do feel better without all that gluten in me. I don't know. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but
Life without bread and potatoes just sounds like a life not worth living.
you know, every once in a while I do have to go get bread and eat bread.
Yeah.
And I do go every once in a while and get a Whopper in a bun because I got to have a bun.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying. I'm trying to be a good girl. I'm trying. I don't know why at age 70 I've decided that I need to be svelte. But yeah, so that's where I'm going. But anyways, I had lettuce wrap. Alexis also had a lettuce wrap.
Lettuce wrap. And then because I'm an animal, I went back and had a little brioche bun.
It was delicious,
sandwich.
wasn't it?
Oh.
It was equally as delicious as the
Both
lettuce wrap.
sandwiches were great.
Yep. Yeah. I thought about a bun today, but I thought, no, you're going to be trying to talk afterwards. You don't want your tummy grumbling. But yeah, so we had sandwiches and chips. And for dessert, we had the white cake.
Oh yeah, coconut Pepperidge Farm cake.
Oh yeah,
and you got to leave it in the freezer. If you put it in the refrigerator, you're an animal.
Absolutely, I am all for that frozen cake. And when I went to buy it, they have all sorts of flavors of that cake.
Oh, yeah. You get like chocolate or white.
Yeah, and it was on the bottom shelf, and there was only 2 coconut cakes in there. That was it. Just those 2.
I don't know. I think all the stuff that I like is just like being phased out. Like this year, Ben and Jerry's didn't drop the pumpkin cheesecake like they usually do.
Right?
I spend like $100 on goddamn Ben and Jerry's for pumpkin cheesecake ice cream to last me through the winter, and I didn't get any this year.
No.
I didn't get none.
No, and the Edie's has a good one, but it's the pumpkin pie ice cream.
I don't like
And
that.
that's not what I'm looking for. Right. It's good. And in a pinch, scoop of that'll do. But to buy some to last through the winter, no, absolutely not.
It's wild. Like cheesecake is not my favorite flavor because I've got a cream cheese thing.
Yeah, but
you can't. It's really more of a pumpkin flavor. And really, when there is like a variance in the flavor, it's because in the Ben and Jerry's, it's swirled in is like graham cracker crumbs.
Right.
It's so good.
Right. Yeah. Pepperidge Farms, there's still people out there that eat the coconut cake.
Yeah.
And yes, it is 10 times better frozen than it is thawed. It's delicious when it's thawed out.
Oh, it's fine.
But oh my God, I would much rather leave it in the freezer and eat it solid.
100%.
And it was so tiny, wasn't it?
Oh, it always is.
The little layers.
I think it's just because I'm getting bigger.
Is that what it is? I'm too big to have a Pepperidge Farm cake anymore. But God, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was delicious. It tasted like 3 or 4 more pieces.
Oh, at least. So we had a very good theme meal today.
Yeah.
Very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at the lettuce wrap.
No, and it's surprisingly so good. I mean, and easy.
Yeah.
And like you said, you tried making tacos. You got to have a pretty substantial piece of lettuce. So you've got to use the romaine, or you've got to use the iceberg.
Yeah, the butter lettuce just was not man enough for it.
I love butter lettuce, but We had iceberg today because when I went to the store, I go to the store early in the mornings, and it hadn't been stocked up yet.
Oh,
They had some really weak looking, organic romaine, but it was really weak looking, and I thought I don't even want to eat that, so I got iceberg. I
yeah.
love iceberg.
Yeah, it was fine.
I got nothing against iceberg. So yeah, we had a great theme meal. We did a cute little Sister Act TikTok.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes.
You want to hear a little trivia?
Okay. Oh my God, I completely forgot about our trivia.
I forgot about trivia.
I'm all done talking.
Now, when we were talking about what we were going to watch today, whether we were going to watch Holiday Inn or White Christmas, we're like, oh, it's really pretty interchangeable. Apparently, that's a myth
I don't think so, but okay.
because this is what the trivia says.
Yes.
The film is neither a sequel to nor a remake of 1942's Holiday Inn, a persistent myth that continues to this day. Aside from both films starring Bing Crosby and featuring Irving Berlin scores, most notably the chestnut White Christmas, plots and characters' names are completely different. In the first film, Crosby and co-star Fred Astaire compete for the affections of the same woman, while in the second film, Crosby and Danny Kaye fall for sisters
Okay.
and are paired off almost immediately. There is also no subplot of an inn open only during the holidays and White Christmas. It is one inn on the verge of bankruptcy due to the lack of customers. How does that not sound the same? Get out of here.
Are you speaking English?
Get out of here. IMDb trivia, go home. You're drunk.
Well, people say that they're two completely different movies, and okay, if you want to think that, that's okay. Think that. I personally don't.
And I own both, so we could have watched either one.
Right?
The snow used at the end of the film is actually asbestos. Everybody's getting cancer.
Yikes.
In supplemental information on the DVD, Rosemary Clooney revealed many things. One is that she took the role mostly so she could perform with Bing Crosby.
Uh-huh.
Danny Kaye caused many retakes with his antics, and he made people laugh out of turn all the time.
I can see that.
And the finale was reshot because the King and Queen of Greece visited the sets. But Bing Crosby was just like, I don't care. I'm going golfing. And went golfing.
Oh. Okay.
And there was no film in the camera while they were reshooting the final scenes for the King and Queen of Greece.
Oh. It was ceremonial.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right.
This is the first film photographed in VistaVision.
Mm-hmm.
A variance on how widescreen film was extended, not in the width of the screen, but the filmed area of the negative.
Yes. I don't, I've read all about that. I don't understand exactly what that means, but I think the end picture is beautiful.
Well, it's just like, okay, so you're looking at a film negative, right?
Huh?
And there's like the pieces that like guide into the camera.
Yep.
And then there's, some blank space, and then there's the actual picture.
Right.
What I'm thinking this means is that the blank spaces, where the film is guided into the camera was much smaller than normal.
I think that is correct.
That just sounds.
And I don't understand what the difference is. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful picture.
The picture is beautiful.
Yeah.
And the color is lush.
Yes. Yes.
And the dresses, the color dresses they're wearing, that mustard yellow ensemble she had
my.
on,
Yes.
those blues.
And her pajamas. Oh,
Yeah.
everything is fabulous. And like you said, his pants, his socks, and his shoes all match. What the hell?
Yeah, that's wild to me.
I want to be that cool.
I don't think we'll ever be that cool.
Yeah, that's true. Especially since I don't wear socks very often at all.
It's been so I've been, I go to work and people know me because I'm crazy. And they're like, "Oh, it's so cold outside." I'm like, "Oh, I know it's so cold outside. I didn't wear socks to work today." And they're like, "What is your problem?" And I'm like, "I just didn't wear socks today."
You only need socks when there's a foot of snow.
Listen, I wear socks in my boots. So, I had a pair of socks, in the office with me. I
Okay.
just didn't have them. When I put my street shoes on, I took my socks off because they look goofy with socks.
I hear you. I don't feel the
Fashion,
need for
baby.
socks. My mother wouldn't leave her bed without socks and shoes on. Me? I only wear socks at work because that was on the dress code.
Yeah.
You gotta wear socks.
Oh, because I have a pretty loose dress code, short pants and no socks. I wear that all the time.
I'm with you.
Vera Ellen did not sing anything in this movie. Her voice was dubbed over by a woman named Trudy Stevens.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
She
She's a
did a great
dancer.
job.
She is a dancer. She's not a singer. Interesting.
Vera Ellen and Rosemary Clooney were both originally from the Cincinnati, Ohio area.
Yeah. Yes. Rosemary Clooney was born just across the border in Kentucky. Yes.
Um, this is funny. And speaking of Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen, Rosemary Clooney played the role of the older sister in the movie, even though Vera Ellen is 7 years older than her in real life. So Vera Ellen would have been 33 at the time this movie was made.
Yep.
Because I read something that said that Rosemary Clooney was 26.
I had read that also. Maybe it's because she was taller.
Yeah.
It's always the taller person that's the older one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Although Dean Jagger was made out to be the old man, and you could tell his hair was dyed.
Oh, yes. Yes.
He was 6 months younger than Bing Crosby, and Bing Crosby in this movie was 51 years old.
Yep.
We talked about Fred Astaire turning it down and the cute fever of it all.
That's so weird. Okay.
The train scenes had to be shot at 20th Century Fox because they were the only studio to house a standing train set that had an interior.
How interesting.
MGM had something more of a train station set.
Okay.
Nothing really of note for walking around a train car.
Interesting.
This is pretty cool. Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney both died at the age of 74, obviously in different years. And both had family in Star Trek.
Oh my God.
Star Trek things. Bing's granddaughter appeared on Star Trek The Next Generation, the TV show. And Rosemary's son, Miguel Ferrer, appeared in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
My gosh.
Vera Ellen, because she was so much shorter than Rosemary Clooney, wore really high heels to look taller when standing next to Rosemary Clooney.
Okay.
So could you imagine wearing 8-inch heels and that?
Well, didn't you see some of those shoes? She did have 3-4 inch heels on some of those shoes she had on.
Oh yeah.
So no, and to do her work?
Yeah,
no,
that's crazy.
I can't even imagine.
This premiered at Radio City Music Hall in New York City.
Cool. I think that's fascinating.
Many of the costumes and props from this film are now on display at the Rosemary Clooney House in Augusta, Kentucky.
Oh my gosh.
This is included among the American Film Institute's 2004 list of 400 movies nominated for the top 100 America's Greatest Music in the Movies for the song Count Your Blessings Instead of Sheep.
Oh my gosh.
The last couple things I have tie in together.
Yep.
This was number one at the box office in 1954,
Okay.
in all of 1954.
Oh.
With the rentals being $12 million. And I'm assuming that's it's not film rentals like we do today. Well, like we used to do today. Probably them lending the reels to movie houses to run.
Oh.
That
I
sounds
don't know
more
how that works. Oh.
because they kept saying rentals, and so that's what sounded reasonable in my head. Because
Okay.
I'm sure it's
Sure.
not like you walk in. I'm sure they didn't have video stores in 1954 because they didn't.
Right, because surely they weren't sending movies to theaters for free.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Besting the year's second biggest hit, The Cane Mutiny,
My gosh.
by over $3 million. Do you know who was in The Cane Mutiny?
No.
Jose Ferrar.
My,
Do you know who Jose Ferrar is?
he was Rosemary Clooney's first and second husband.
Yes. So imagine your house being responsible for the two biggest movies of 1954.
Oh my
Isn't that crazy?
God. Oh my God. That is amazing. I think this movie is absolutely
Oh,
lovely.
every time you watch it, you just walk away feeling warm and fuzzy.
Yep. Yep. I think everybody I can't even imagine other people we often talk about, oh, this person or that person was up for this movie. I can't even imagine Fred Astaire doing this movie.
No.
Where in Holiday Inn, he's great. But I can't imagine him being great in this movie.
Right.
So
Because I don't think you can have like two alpha performers like that.
Right.
Where one has to be the goofy guy.
Right.
I don't think Fred Astaire had it in him to be the goof off guy.
No. And I don't think that the goof was the part that was written for this movie, but because they got Danny Kaye, that's the part they got.
Yeah, and I think that if they went with anybody else, it would have been a whole different movie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Both of those other guys would be great.
Absolutely.
But not in this part.
No.
I don't think it's just that's amazing. I think it's amazing that it gels like that. But then on the other hand, this is the only one I've ever seen. So is that the reason why I like these people in this movie? Because it's the only one that there is.
Right. Oh, I couldn't imagine them remaking this.
No. Oh God, no.
Let's not speak that into the ether.
Yeah, because we don't want that.
No.
You know how we feel about
Stop remaking movies.
Get some new ideas, get some new words, get some new music. Come on. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is one of my favorites. It's a lovely movie. And like you said, you walk away feeling warm and fuzzy. It's just a nice movie. And it's an everyman movie.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
yeah. And right now it's on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Which saved us because my Blu-ray player was just like, I don't feel like working today.
I know.
And I was just like,
you were getting upset and I was getting a little panicky.
I'm already freaking out. So can we not? And it was just like, yeah, we're gonna.
I would say we could watch movies at my house, but I have that little postage stamp size TV compared to yours. I've only got, 20 inches compared to 90.
No, your TV's a 42-inch TV.
Okay. I've only got 40 inches compared to your 120.
Mine's only 86. Oh my God, if it were 120, it would take up the whole wall.
And you would love it.
We'd have to sit on the floor to watch it.
You would love it. I remember how excited you were to buy this TV. And it's beautiful. Watching movies, it's lovely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go to the theater.
Yeah. Absolutely not when you can be in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't imagine watching my game shows on this TV.
Oh, you can.
I know you can, but I can't even imagine that much Meredith Vieira in my face. She does that
Yeah,
25 words or less show.
I know.
Well, I mean, she doesn't do it now, but whatever. So no, I can't even imagine, but yeah, we could watch movies at my house.
Yeah.
But you'd have the same problem because it'd be the same equipment. Everything I have, you have. So,
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take the Blu-ray player off the TV. We're gonna figure out if it's the Blu-ray player or if it's the receiver. I have to think this receiver was a hand-me-down and we got it. I have to say at least 10 years ago. So, it was a hand-me-down 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I have to. It's like $500 to replace.
I know.
To get like the exact same one we.
OMG.
So
I understand. I mean,
we're trying to make it work.
I know, and I get it. I absolutely get it.
I'd rather take a vacation than buy a new receiver.
Right, because when it's working fine.
Yeah,
but when it's not working, it's aggravating the living shit out of you.
It should work. God damn it!
And it's just a piece of equipment. Why would it not work?
Yeah,
I don't
know.
I get it. When Reginald Manchego knocked the plug out of the back of my TV, I spent an hour trying to figure out where to plug that fucker back into.
It's up and under.
Well, I didn't know that until I turned the TV upside down. So, well, there's a plug right there. And I don't know why Reginald wants to be behind the television. I don't understand.
For the same reason that Tallulah needs to be on my nightstand, because she knows it aggravates me.
Oh, okay.
So she's going to go over there and dig in my pile of jewelry, my watches, and my glasses.
All right. Well, this week, Reginald jumped up on the wall and was attacking the picture of Dorian Gray. And I thought, Reginald, have you ever even seen that picture? I thought, maybe he wants to get rid of all the other cats in my life?
I guess.
So he's going to knock her picture off of the wall?
What a jerk.
I don't know. Well, he jumped down. He tried to jump onto the top of the grandfather clock, but there was something up there and he stopped and he jumped down. I don't understand. What are cats thinking?
I don't know. And is it the ghost whispering to them? The ghost was walking around my upstairs again.
Oh no.
It's been quite active. Justin's like, when I was in the Navy on the boat, it would expand and contract and it would sound like people walking all over the place. I was just like, listen here. I don't want to hear your logic.
Right.
I do not appreciate your logic.
And stop with the reasonableness. What the hell?
Let me have this ghost.
I know. And with this frigidly cold weather we've had, my house is talking all day.
Oh, no.
And creaking and Reg walking around going, what was that? What was that? But with this frigidly cold weather, our poor houses aren't standing a chance.
Uh-uh.
But you've been having that ghost up there for the last couple of months. He's been very active.
And walking around, and it's just like, bro, you need to calm. First of all, you need to calm down, because if you're at walking around when I'm awake, you need to calm down.
Right? Absolutely. Ghosts should only be walking around when you're laying in bed trying to go to sleep.
Yeah, trying to sleep. You should be tap dancing up there at 4 p.m.,
Right.
not 3 a.m. when I'm getting out of bed.
Right. Okay. Scariness.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
yeah.
God, if I heard tap dancing up there, I'd just set the house on fire. Like, are you kidding me? I know what tap
Absolutely.
dancing sounds like.
I hate tap dancing.
Oh, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I ran across your tap shoes recently and I thought, why am I keeping.
Yeah, why? Those haven't fit me for probably 35 years.
Yeah. So I put them in the bin to go to the garage sale.
I was thinking, 'cause I have a lot of free time to spend, and I was just like, I should find like a dance class or something, to one, be active, and two, get out of my house and be productive.
Right.
But then I was just like, I wear a size 11 shoe. Where am I going to get a tap shoe? A size 11. I'd have to buy a man's shoe. That's cute. Put a tutu on this fat ass. Get out of here.
That'd be fun though. I bet
Ah.
you could. Bet you'd pick it up like you just were dancing yesterday.
Probably.
You are just like that. OMG. Probably pick up a tuba and start playing it just like you did before.
I don't know, because of my teeth.
Oh.
Because the way my lips rub against my teeth are completely different than when I was in high school. Because I have different teeth now.
Okay. And yeah, your lips have to be a certain way. Yeah, I'm pretending like I'm blowing on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So while I probably could, it would probably be weird.
okay. Interesting. All right. Well, then you can pick up any other instrument you've. Violin.
Oh, no. I was
Yeah.
bad at that.
You weren't. You just didn't
Violin-
like it.
Violin was hard for me because I thought I would be good at it immediately, and I wasn't, and I was disappointed.
Oh.
And that's pretty much why I gave up on that so fast, because it was just
Okay.
like, I should have been awesome immediately.
I see.
And why wasn't I a prodigy? And that made me mad.
I understand.
Yeah. That's also why
understand.
I don't play guitar. We have guitars laying around this house, all over this
Everywhere.
house.
Yeah.
I had to move a guitar to sit down to watch our movie today. I can't, I, I can't make my hands and my mouth and my brain
Yeah.
do different things at different times. I don't play drums because I can't do different things with my hands.
Right. I can never understand how these people can play a guitar and sing a song. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
it's crazy.
That is just way beyond me. I can barely stand up and walk,
Right.
much less,
Yes.
do the whole shebang-a-bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But like, I watched Justin play, and it's just like, I should be able to do that. And because I can't just sit down and do that, fuck a guitar.
Yay. Right. Yeah, you were never patient. If you couldn't do it, you threw it aside. It
Yeah.
was just, it was,
Because I should be good at everything.
and you are for the most part.
And I think that's probably the detrimental part of being bright child.
Correct.
It's because I was getting pat on the head for being so smart, and then I can't make a violin work, I can't make a guitar work. What's wrong with me?
Strings are not your thing.
No, I just I can't. I can't.
No, I get it. I get it. Then same with the drums. How can you make your hands and your feet work at the same time?
Justin's dad's a drummer, and watching him just sit down and just
and
it's just like,
how does that happen?
first of all, how? Like, second of
Yes.
all, how?
Yes. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe because I have no talent, I don't know how that works, but oh my god, why can't I do that?
Well, I also can't read rhythm.
Oh, what? I don't understand. I don't read music. So is there more to music than just music?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. You know how the notes are shaped differently on the page?
yes,
That
I've
all
seen that.
that all means something. And and
Oh,
the patterns therein, that's all, and the timing at the treble clef
at
at
the
the
front,
beginning.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that all ties in to everything. I can't read rhythm.
Interesting. Okay. So
You know,
brass and wind instruments are your thing then?
but if you can show me, if you can play it for me, I can play it back to you.
Right.
But if you want me to read this and do
I
it
can't play it and show you.
off the rip, I
Mhm.
can't.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah. And
Wow. Well, I think it's wonderful. I have absolutely no musical talent. I have a terrible singing voice. I don't, whatever. But you girls have been able to really do stuff like that, and I find it amazing.
yeah. The playing the instrument isn't hard. It's just the it was and reading the music isn't hard. Anybody can read music. But it's the rhythm. I can't read the rhythm.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, here's the little group of notes strung together. I, I can do that, but I can't tell my brain to tell my mouth to do that.
Okay. All right. Oh, I don't know. I music is in our family, so it's okay. So, I think you're wonderful, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that bright child thing really fucked me up.
I'm sorry.
I'm not good at this. That's part of why high school was so hard, because I went from being a big fish in a little pond to being a little fish in a big pond, and
Oh,
I was completely out of my element. And we were light years ahead of where I was,
okay.
and being in advanced classes really messed me up. In high school.
Again, my fault.
No, some teacher should have noticed that I was struggling.
Right.
I did have a math teacher that looked at my grades and was like, "Well, it looks like you read better than you do math." And it's just like, whose fault is that, bitch?
Right. Especially as many years as you've been in music, you can't do math? What do you mean?
Oh,
That's all right there together in the same location in your brain.
yeah, no. Again, that's another thing why I can't drum. I can't polymeters. I can't put it together.
Okay. I get it. Because, it's beyond me too. I would love to do all that. And I would love to be able to dance. I got two left feet. I don't even have feet.
Oh,
When it comes to dancing, I'm terrible at it.
like TikTok dancing, like YouTube dancing, that's out of the question because because I am a baby giraffe.
Right.
Um,
If you jumped up, you would definitely fall down.
oh, 100%. But tap dancing, I can do a light
Yeah,
shuffle, shuffle ball change.
you were always good at dance. I mean, you were the little kid that was hitting the kid next to you, go this way, this way.
Yeah,
You got that in you, but not me. I don't know where you got it.
yeah.
You know, your other mother.
I
don't know.
I also am extremely Caucasian. Um, so TikTok dancing, YouTube dancing, out of the
Yeah,
question.
no. I've
Out of the
tried it.
question.
It doesn't work.
My hips don't move like that. My spine doesn't move
Nope.
like that.
Nope. Nope. My arms aren't attached anywhere on my body. My legs are not attached.
No.
So no, it does nothing like that. My hair doesn't move like that.
I joke, but like, is my spine fused together? Like, why can't I move like that?
It's because you just don't.
I'm just I'm not built for it.
I know. I know. That's craziness. And that's one thing that, on the dead people that we have this week that I had sent you just the other day. I sent you that little clip about of Chuck Negron doing the
Yeah.
from Three Dog Night, doing that, playing with that band that I used to follow.
Yeah.
Um, they who know what? Somebody like that played with a band I know?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But, having learned about the George brothers, they used to play for a lot of big stars. Having been a Detroit band, I guess today have been a garage band, and then they just moved into the big time and played with all kinds of people.
Yeah.
But that little video that I found, I thought, holy cow, I gotta send this to Lexus.
Huh.
I thought it was interesting. Should we go on with more dead people?
Yeah. It took me a minute because I looked at that. I was like, why
What is
am I looking at this?
And she's sending me
it
this
took
for?
a minute to put together that was the band that we went to go see a few times.
Yep, the George Brothers band. And that was early days because the guy that was drumming was the brother that had passed
Oh, okay.
before I started following them. But yeah, Chuck Negron died at 83. He was with he became famous with Three Dog Night. I think he wrote a lot of their songs.
Yeah, he did a lot of their songs.
Um
I had to break that news to Deborah. Deborah loves Joy to the World.
Oh,
I hate that song.
Okay. He died of heart failure. But
83?
Come on.
I mean, we should be so lucky.
Yeah, and we've talked about this many times. In a rock band for all those years, and he lived to 83?
Well,
Holy cow.
some people aren't partying hard like that. Some people are going home to their families.
I
So,
guess.
maybe he had a good stint of clean living.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Catherine O'Hara? Wow.
I'm sad about that.
71?
First of all, it's too young.
Yeah. And I know I've seen her in other movies, but I kind of discovered her when I found Schitt's Creek. And I found Schitt's Creek a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the second season. Because I got the Canadian channel on our cable and I watched a lot of Canadian stuff, but I think she is hilarious.
Oh, she was in Beetlejuice. She was in Home Alone.
Yeah.
She's been in movies from my childhood.
Yes. She was in one of our movies, Best in Show. Yeah.
The Westminster Dog Show just happened, and they had a lovely tribute to her.
Yes. Yes. And surprise, surprise, the Doberman Pinscher won the Best in Show. Big dogs don't win like that.
Yeah, weird.
He was she. I think it's a she. Beautiful animal.
Really
beautiful.
Must be majestic to win the Kennel Club.
Yes. Also, February 3rd was the day the music died.
Oh.
1959 was when the plane crashed that killed Buddy Holly,
Big Bopper, and Richie Valens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
And also, this week was the 33rd year anniversary that Karen Carpenter died.
Oh my God.
I loved Karen Carpenter.
Yeah, that was
awful.
Watch her play the drums. Wild.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
And then sing a sad song that just makes your heart break and just you're in love the whole time.
Right. And I read her book and it was a very sad situation that mother put everything into the brother. Mother thought that Karen was nothing and brother was everything. And in reality, it was Karen who was the star.
Yeah, he married his cousin.
His first cousin.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not just a cousin. his first, and they have like, I don't know, 6 or 8 kids, but they're all grown now. I mean, yeah, whatever. But yeah, that there's been a lot of stuff in history, this music history this last
Here's
week.
another little thing that I don't think that you saw. But Minute Maid frozen orange juice concentrate
I said this morning I was going to call you.
discontinued at 80 years old.
What? Oh, I can't even imagine. We're just going to have to buy a bottle of orange juice now.
Yes, and I'm going to tell you because I was trying to make those junior high home ec orange Julius's.
Yes.
Do you remember in the 90s when there were doors plural of frozen juice?
Yes.
When I went to find it, first of all, I had to search
Yes.
for this orange juice concentrate, and then it was a little like
A little rack
6
on
foot
a
section.
shelf. Yeah.
That's it. In
Yeah.
you know, in the bottom of a freezer, and it was just like, and it was you could get this brand orange juice, this brand orange juice, and this brand lemonade.
Yeah.
And that was it.
We used to get grape juice,
Oh.
orange juice, lemonade.
Welch's had this passion
Punch.
fruit juice that was so good.
We used to always have frozen, but you know what? I don't.
Yeah, when's the last time you made frozen juice?
I don't.
I think the last time I had frozen juice was probably like in the early days of Justin moving in here. And
Yeah.
we've been together for 14 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I mean, but when I heard that this morning on the news, I thought, oh my God.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think, well, you know, I haven't bought a frozen orange juice in probably 30 years.
You know, you got to pay. And they were expensive. They're like $3 a tube.
Right.
And then, then you got to run your tap for so long to get enough water in there. And how much does that cost?
Right. Right.
When your tap is spilling gold.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. The difference. Yeah. Been a weird week, hasn't it?
Yeah. I know there's more. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm going to get in that orange juice because I thought it was crazy.
Right. Hairstylist to the stars, Kim Vo, at just 55, died of cancer. He also did reality TV and stuff like that. I mean, I know the name. I don't exactly know the person.
Okay.
Sal Buscemi, at 89, he was a comic book artist for Marvel Comics.
Okay.
We've lost a lot of comic book artists recently.
Yeah.
And who's replacing them? Are they being replaced? Or is a machine taking over?
Oh, who the hell knows?
I hope that that's not the case. Here's a sad one. Grady DeMont Wilson, 79, died of cancer. The son of Sanford and Son.
You big dummy.
That's kind of sad. I mean, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Here's talking about music, and this is a guy you're not going to know. Guy Hovis, at 84. He was a singer, songwriter from the Lawrence Welk Show. Well, he was most known for the Lawrence Welk Show. Guy and Rolna, and they played together that place in Branson that the Lawrence Welk Theater had. They often played there.
Okay.
Another musician, Billy Bass Nelson, 75, from Parliament Funk.
Oh, from P-Funk. The the long time the guy wearing a diaper.
Right.
Yeah.
He was with them forever. And like we talked about earlier, this is probably going to turn kind of sad and ugly. DJ Young Slade, his real name was Nathan Smith. He was the son of Lil Jon.
Yeah. Rapper Lil Jon.
Yeah. This boy was a producer and an artist. Yeah.
Yeah, he from what little John's little memorial blurb was, he was a talented, bright, loved child. And
Yep.
I think this is going to be real sad
Yeah.
because it sounds like he intentionally
Yeah.
dove in a pond in February
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Georgia.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's going to be a sad thing that,
So, I hope it's a drug psychosis and not a psychosis thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Because one's a little easier to take than the other, I think.
Right. Right.
But I mean, both are awful.
Yeah. 27
It's
years
too
old.
young.
Ay, ay, ay. Families, get help for your family.
Yeah.
And if you can hear me and you need help, get help. But you can't always hear when,
Yeah. When that voice in your head is telling you not to listen to anybody because
Right.
they're all demons. Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, me too. So
That voice in my head is a lying bitch.
Yeah, I've had some real dark days, but you know what? By the grace of God, I've gotten through. So
Yeah. Still here
yeah,
to aggravate somebody.
that's what I live for. I live for that. Aggravate people. And the last one I have is Fred Smith. At 77, he was with Blondie.
With Blondie for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of music today.
Yeah.
So, wow,
Debbie Harry, take your vitamins. Get your vaccinations.
Well, people are finally in North Carolina. Where's the measles outbreak?
Oh, who the hell knows?
Almost up to 1,000 people now.
Jesus Christ.
And it finally said on the news that people were starting to get vaccinations. Well, when measles are knocking on your door, it's a little bit late to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
But come on. This outbreak is putting the entire United States in danger of being a no measles zone now. And because people are not getting the vaccines.
I want people to listen to me. Science is real.
Science is real.
And don't you think it would behoove our enemies for us to be sick and decimate our own population? Don't you think it would behoove Russia for us to be sickly and weak? Why are we going to let Russia win?
Right.
Go get your goddamn vaccinations.
Right. I say it a lot, mostly because, I feel that the mental health drugs I take make me feel better living through chemicals.
100%. And if somebody tells you that the answer to being healthy is drinking bleach, punch them in their throats.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous that people believe that.
Wild behavior.
You want to go and get the ivermectin. That's an animal.
Dewormer.
Yes, it's a dewormer. I don't understand people.
Unless you're a human being eating raw hamburger,
right?
You're not going to get worms.
Correct.
You don't need to be dewormed.
Nope. Or if you're eating sand, Life got the pinworms from the sand.
Well, as a person that does like to eat sand, which is why I stay away from beaches. Because I've seen what comes out of sand on beaches.
Exactly. So, we have come this far in science for a reason.
Yeah. So,
and the fact that this small group of people who are ruling us in Washington are making us so ignorant, I don't understand.
They are agents of Russia. They are agents of China. They are trying to weaken the population.
Yes.
To either take over themselves or to let one of the other superpowers, Russia or China, take us over.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's, tinfoil hat talking. I think that's
No.
real talk.
Yes. And I remember when Ronald Reagan was president, and then very shortly after he was no longer president, it came out that he had dementia.
Oh.
And the fact that Nancy Reagan had been running the country for, a year or so. Why can't anybody see that our current president has dementia, Alzheimer's, strokes, whatever it is that is
Untreated syphilis.
absolutely. I mean, he's a sick man. Why are people covering it up?
Well, he doesn't want to look weak.
Oh my God.
It's okay for us to be weak, but he can't look weak. Baby, we know you shit your pants.
Yeah.
Baby, we know that your legs are one swell away from a heart attack.
Right.
We know this. We saw your face. We know that you've had a stroke. Why are you getting on my TV and lying to me?
Right.
6'3", 215? Bullshit.
If he's 6'3" and 215, I am 5'11" and 110 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And I look damn good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
come on, there is better living through chemicals. There
100%.
is.
And please vaccinate your children. Please vaccinate your children. We shouldn't have measles.
No, there shouldn't be measles.
Smallpox is coming back.
Yes.
We shouldn't have smallpox.
Even worse than that, leprosy.
Oh my
Leprosy
Christ.
has gone crazy in Florida.
Well, you know what? Let's just cut Florida off.
My God.
Let's just push it into the ocean.
But then I heard that and I thought, what the hell? How do you get leprosy? Armadillos.
Oh.
Armadillos spread leprosy.
Well, why are you touching an armadillo?
Well, I don't know why you touch one. I mean, I've never seen one alive. When you go to Tennessee, they're all over the road dead. I can't even imagine having driven over an armadillo and killing it. Imagine that would wreck your car. They're very large.
Yeah, and they're spiny.
And they're rather armored. With the bones on it, whatever it is that makes
that,
them
exoskeleton.
Yeah, whatever that. I don't know anything about armadillos, but I thought, why would we be getting leprosy? Armadillos. What the hell?
I need to research that. Is it from eating armadillos?
No, I don't think people eat armadillos.
Is it from picking up roadkill?
Maybe, I don't know.
And why are you picking up roadkill and not bathing afterwards?
Or having gloves on? I don't exactly understand.
Because if I had to go pick up roadkill right now, I'd be in a full hazmat suit.
You betcha, with a respirator and goggles.
Yeah.
You betcha. There wouldn't be anything uncovered.
No, because I'm going to see guts and gore, and I'm going to. First of all, my first instinct is throw up. So I'm going to be gagging the whole time.
Right. Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, leprosy is coming around.
Fucking wild.
Wash your damn hands. Just wash your hands. Keep your body clean.
Just stop leaving your house.
Well, yeah, that too.
Just stay out of public.
Yeah.
But send your children to school. Don't stop homeschooling your children.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Right.
You're not teaching them anything. You're teaching them to be housewives.
Right.
And house husbands. We don't need a house. First of all, if you send me a house husband, I'm going to beat you up. Get the fuck out of here.
But on the other hand, look at what's happening right here in Toledo. They're talking about 4-day school weeks. What's that going to do?
Well, listen.
The government has cut out Head Start. What's that going to do?
It's a person that went to Toledo Public Schools, and I'm sorry to burst Romulus Durant's bubble, his extremely large bubble, but Toledo Public Schools have been trash. And they're always going to be trash because Toledo Public Schools are ran like free daycare. Teachers don't care. The students don't care. The administrations are just bitches. Like, nobody gives a shit about actually teaching anybody anything. I walked out of high school not knowing how to be an adult.
I understand that.
I knew how to go to school.
Having been a mother of 2 kids in the Toledo Public School, I saw teachers who weren't quote unquote morning people. Could you become a teacher if you weren't a morning person?
I failed a whole class. The entire class failed with me because, and only one person got an A in that class. Only one person. And that's because the teacher thought that kid walked on water. He wasn't very smart. He was disruptive in class.
Yeah.
But she thought he was the cutest thing that's ever walked the earth. And he was the only person, the only kid in a class of, 30 kids that got an A in that class. One of the girls that I went to school with would leave that class crying every day.
God.
And you're going to tell me, you told me it was because I was fucking around. It was not because I was fucking around. That teacher sucked.
I get it now. I saw another teacher that had been very near retirement age that had used the same lesson plan since the day she started being a teacher.
Oh, no.
And then other teachers who would tell the kids, "Oh, if you look good, you will be good. You will be what?
No.
Get all that affirmation shit. That's not no.
Teach me how to do my taxes.
Yeah.
Teach me how to write a resume. Teach me how to use my hands. Teach me how to cook.
Yep. I've seen some teachers.
Teach me
teachers.
Teach me how to fix my car.
Yeah, I get
all
it, baby.
That arithmetic that I had to take, I don't use. I play with a calculator all day. Don't use that shit.
Right.
Pi algebra, not a thing in where I work.
No, and when you're not using the calculator, you're using the computer program.
Yeah, so
that all you have to do is recognize a number to put it in the block.
I get it. And I had teachers that thought that their class trumped every other class, so I couldn't take field trips because it would disrupt their class.
Yeah,
your class. What? No.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020, and I know a bunch of teachers, and I know a bunch of those teachers are very dedicated and very angry with the system, but
there's not enough of them.
No, because there's too many that
there's too many
aren't morning people that don't update their lesson plan from year to year after they've been teaching for 30 years. Come on.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And Toledo Public is full of those teachers.
Yep.
Just a lot of ass wipers. And you know what? I got that down when I was, 3, 4.
Oh, golly, yeah.
Figured that out real fast.
You did.
Tying my shoes can do it.
Yep.
Doing my taxes? I still don't know how to do my taxes.
That was my fault. Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. I love you so much.
Right. Oh, well, I mean, it ain't getting any better. And now they want to take the voting rights away from the states. They want to control the voting rights. And they're looking back on 3 presidents ago's voting record to see that he won the race. No, there aren't thousands and thousands of illegal aliens voting. There aren't.
No.
They can turn over every voting record that they want, and they are not going to find people who are not citizens voting. They will. Yeah. When they did that thing here in Ohio, they found 3.
Usually when they find, especially in deep red states, when they find voter fraud, it's deep red voters.
Yep.
Double, triple voting.
Yep. Yes.
My dad died this year, but he cast a vote.
I'm good. Yeah. He made that vote. Good man.
Yeah, and
Yeah. I
It's-
mean, they're not finding
white people, and we can't talk. We have to say it's brown people
right.
to push that brown panic.
But that's
And
not what it is.
it's wild. It's wild what's going on. Stay in your houses.
Yep.
Don't confront these people. You will get shot.
Yes. Oh, yes.
You know, yeah, we do need to speak up, but don't go outside.
Right.
You know, I know it's terrible. I know it's wrong, and I know that we have to speak up. But I think there has to be a different way in confronting these people because they
Right.
will shoot you.
Right. Absolutely. We've seen that where the ICE officials are, indiscriminately shooting people, and then they're terrorists. They're not terrorists. They're people. They're
Yeah.
people who are saying what they think is right. They don't deserve to die. And here in this area of Northwest Ohio, we have a lot of farms here, and I'm sure that we have a lot of farm workers here and people who just come here to work.
Yeah.
And it's scary. And now they're going to try to go. They're talking about repealing that protection in Springfield.
Yeah, a judge turned that down. But how long is that going to hold?
Correct. And
those people have every right to be here.
Yes, they came here and they're living here following the law. They've got jobs. They're supporting their families. I can't even imagine what's going to happen if they take all of those people out of that town. There's big factories there that need that work, those workers.
Yeah.
Same here. We have farms here that need those workers.
Yeah, it's all terrible.
It is.
We could go on for hours about it.
How did we get back on that? We've tried to not go there.
Vaccinate your children.
Yes, vaccinate your children.
And write your congressperson about ICE. It's terrible.
Yes.
And Marcy Kaptur, do your job. Quit capitulating. It sucks.
No, we need a replacement for Marcy.
That's what I'm saying. Quit capitulating. Because we're going to vote you out.
I know.
I'm going to vote for a libertarian over Marcy Kaptur because I'm sick of Marcy Kaptur. A libertarian.
But you know what happens when you vote for a third party vote?
Yeah, it goes to Republicans.
I know.
Have you seen the Republican candidate? First of all, she doesn't live here, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Right. The girl that just left. Yeah.
That just left
I had sent you that. I'd sent you that thing that I had read. Yeah.
She isn't.
Don't you have to live by where you are?
In your district?
Right.
I thought so.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But yeah, she's going to come here and try to be governor. You don't know me.
She doesn't want to be governor. She wants to be a congressperson.
Right.
For our district. That lady is so mannish looking. It's wild. And
hey, no, we got nothing
being
to say
a
about
supermodel
that
right now. But that woman is.
You're sure she shaves every day?
In this climate where, we have to question what's in everybody's pants because that's how everybody's goddamn business all of a sudden.
Right.
That woman is very manly.
Yeah.
She is handsome.
I do not understand why she would quit her government job to come here to run for office.
I'm hoping a prayer.
Right.
Get it.
Me either.
But I'm voting for the libertarian.
Yeah, I ain't voting for her. I haven't made up my mind. I might have to vote for Marcy. I
just wish a Democrat would primary her.
Right.
But we don't have anybody. That's the problem is we don't have anybody. Our benches are real thin.
Right. I thought that maybe Teresa Fetter was going to come up and be her protege, and that's my own thinking, and that maybe Teresa would do something, but that never came to fruition. So, Marcy's still hanging in there.
I don't know. Maybe whisper it in her ear.
I don't know her that well.
Oh. Well, tell her mama. Who do you know? Her mama? Her
Mom.
auntie?
Yeah, her mom.
Tell her mama.
My mom was her mom's godmother.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ. How many godchildren did she have?
Oh, a whole bunch of them.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah,
that's a that's a walk down memory lane I don't want to go down. So
right.
let's move on. We can actually end if you want.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, because we're starting to get political and we're trying not to do
Yeah.
that. That's
Nobody gives a shit about our opinions, but get your vaccines, please. For the
please
love of
do
God.
that. And if you have an opinion other than ours, we'll listen to it.
I won't agree with you.
No, no, no. And I can't agree with you. But I will acknowledge that you have the right to have an opinion.
Yeah, sure.
And your opinion is your opinion, and it's okay.
Eh, And if you come with a really good argument,
I'll think about it.
I'll shake your hand.
Yeah, but I probably won't change.
I'm never going to change my mind.
No. I get my vaccines.
I'm 100% believe in science.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because I did have measles, mumps, and rubella. I did have all of those. And I remember I was sick. I remember being very sick.
Ugh.
So,
You know.
we don't need that anymore.
No.
We don't have to become sick and go to the hospital and possibly even die.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
This is 2026. Science has progressed. And no, you're not going to get autism from a vaccine.
Oh my God. You're going to get autism from
That's-
your father.
That's a genetic.
If he's autistic, you're autistic. That's just the way it goes.
That's
and that's
something in your genes.
That's fine. It's fine.
Yep, it is. And more people now have it than ever. Yeah, you know why? Because it's 2026 and we have science.
Well,
we have progressed that far. We can diagnose things.
This is a real hot take, and I may cut this later. But I think that the rise in autism diagnoses are because we've stopped beating our children.
Well, they just haven't assimilated. Is that the word?
Yeah, because like if I told you in 1985 that my socks were on the wrong feet, would you have put me in therapy and like a sensory program?
No, I would have.
You
I
would
would
have
have
whooped my ass.
slapped you on your ass and put your shoes on those wrong socks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. So assimilate is the word. And we've seen autism for a million years.
Yeah.
Everybody has somebody in their family they're just not right. Let them alone.
Yeah.
They're okay. Leave them.
And probably our smartest people in the world were probably at least a little bit autistic.
I have to think that.
Because, look at somebody like Einstein, who was a brilliant person, but kind of a terrible person.
Yep.
So, because he didn't have any interpersonal skills.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
He probably was autistic. Very, very bright.
Absolutely. And Tesla,
not a good person.
Look at Tesla. I mean, he was way beyond anybody in his thinking.
I think he probably had a little OCD too.
Absolutely. Because he could focus in on the point of the pin and discern stuff from that. So had to have been autistic.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other really famous, smart people like that. They had to have been.
Yeah.
They had to have been.
You get it from your father.
Yeah. It's in your genes. It's not something that you get from a shot or a drink or a food.
And okay, listen, if you get your medical advice from Playboy Playmates,
yeah,
you are reading the wrong scientific journal.
Yeah. Or if you get your medical advice from a politician, they're a politician. They're not a position.
Listen, and if I did my research on Google. Google has told me I have cancer and I'm going to die.
Yes,
How many times?
Dr. Google has diagnosed me many times. All wrong. Well, maybe not all wrong. No, Dr. Google's always right.
Okay, on that note, we're gonna shut it down.
We're getting crazy, so we gotta go.
Shut it down.
I need to go home and take a nap.
All right, get your vaccinations. Believe in science.
Yep.
Fuck ice.
Listen to our show.
Listen to our show. We're fun. Watch our TikTok.
It's even funnier.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.